In this lesson, I am reviewing the reasons behind dimensional analysis. As we've learned in class, or as your teacher has showed you, dimensional analysis, or the factor label method, as some people call it, is a way to use the units that you have to get the units you want. Now, on the bottom of the worksheet that I've given you, and for those that are not in my class, I have a link to that worksheet on the YouTube channel below. Let's just quickly go over how to do this. It's important, and again, I'm really after the how and why as opposed to the answer. I know most of you can do this in your head, it can move decimal places, but I do not want you to move decimal places because you'll get into a bad habit. And I'm telling you that this method is going to be your friend in more advanced problems. I know these questions are very simple and you can get by without doing it this way, but I want you to get in the habit. Trust me on this. So in any case, I have 1,000 calories. So I write out the unit I have. I'm going to make calories short into calories. I'm going to times it by a factor, which is going to be a fraction. Okay, and I can write it any way I'd like based on the units. Now I want to get rid of calories, so calories go on the bottom, and I want kilocalories, kcal, up top. And I know from my prefixes of the metric system that kilo means 1,000. So kilocalorie means I have 1,000 calories. Okay, so for every 1 kilocalorie, I have 1,000 calories. Now, some people have a difficult time putting the numbers here, and as we talked about, this is a bigger unit. Kilocalories is 1,000 times bigger than 1 calorie. So for every one of these guys, there's 1,000 calories. Smaller unit, bigger number. And you're off and running. And here we have our labeling that's factored. I knew the calories had to be on the bottom because I wanted to factor it away to get kcals. And so 1,000 divided by, this is 10,000. Thank you for those that were screaming at me, Mr. Grotsky needed a 0, so 10,000. So 10,000 divided by 1,000, of course, is 10. And for those that didn't catch that, 10,000 times 1 divided by 1,000 is 10. Okay, and it's 10 kcals. It's the unit left standing. Okay, so moving forward for the next one, I have 20 milliliters, just abbreviate it like that. And I want to get rid of milliliters, so milliliters go on the bottom. Okay, I guess I should use that. And I want liters on top, big L, full liter. Okay, and gosh, I'm converting a smaller unit into a bigger unit. My numbers should go, my numerical value should go down as my unit or my gets bigger. Okay, so in any case, I know that a milli is 1,000th of a liter. So they differ by 1,000. Who gets the 1,000? Well, the smaller unit needs a lot more of them to equal the bigger unit. Bigger unit, smaller number. And certainly what we have here is 20 divided by 1,000, okay, gives us 0.020 liters. Okay, and that would be the answer. And again, check your units. Cancel away your units. You're left with the unit standing. Okay, last one. 4.2 hours to seconds. Okay, write down what started, 4.2 hours. Okay, I'm going to get rid of hour. Now I don't have an hour to second conversion. Okay, I have to go to minutes first. So what a lot of people would do here to get this answer, they would say, okay, well, 4.2 hours. And they would say, okay, I got to convert to minutes, so I'm going to times this by 60. And when I do that in my later of calc, or my calculator, as I like to call it, 4.2 times 60, so I'm the 60 minutes an hour. That gives me 252. Okay, then I'm going to times this by 60, because I know there's 60 seconds. So 252 times 60. And when this gives me an answer of 15120 seconds. Now, if you did it this way, congratulations, you got the right answer, but you're not using your units. In your mind, you were using your units, but why didn't you divide by 60? How did you know you multiply by 60? How'd you come up with that? Well, you've done this type of operation, and it makes sense to you. Now, what I'm saying to you is the problems get more complicated. This is not going to be the best answer because if you noticed, you had to take two numbers, multiply them, then take that answer and multiply it by another number. If you think with me for a second, if I do that, take this number that I got from this operation and have to rewrite it in my calculator, I know that I can make an error in rewriting it, right? This times this gives me this number. Then take this number and times by 60. This step in the middle of taking the answer of this operation and timesing it by 60 can open myself up to errors. Besides that, knowing when to multiply by 60 or divide by 60 may not be inherent to the person doing it. Okay, so how would I attack this problem using dimensional analysis? I'm going to take away all these potential errors away, and there's 3 of them here. Knowing when to multiply or divide, and when to take and rewriting an answer in your calculator. Retyping an answer in your calculator, okay, these are 3 potential hazards. Besides, it's just not smart to do it this way. Watch. I'm going to get rid of hour. Hour goes in the bottom. And guess what? I know that there is what? 60 minutes in an hour. Hour goes away. I'm not even thinking about this. I'm just using my known converting factors. 1 hour is 60 minutes. Bigger unit, small number, same idea. And then I'm going to times it. I'm going to get rid of minutes again. And the minutes, okay, got to go to seconds. Why do the minutes go on the bottom? Because I know that this has to cancel. See, I'm using my units. I was given hours, I'm going to seconds. I'm setting this problem up, these converting factors based on units. So I know that there are 60 seconds in 1 minute. Smaller unit, bigger numerical value. Same idea. And look what I'm doing here in my calculator. I'm taking 4.2. I'm timesing 60, dividing by 1. We all know that's still 60. Times by 60, divide by 1. I'm typing all that in. I could care less that 252 is the product of these two. I'm just going to carry those numbers. And I know I got this right because I'm left with my seconds left standing. Okay? So this is a better way. Now let me give you an example to really try to bring this home. I'm going to add a problem to this. All right? So let me just get rid of all of this. And if you still need it, you can review, okay, the video. But I'm going to get rid of all of this again. And we're going to do another problem. I'm going to add number 4 to this. All right, and let's do number 4. Number 4 states convert, okay, I don't know, 800,000 seconds into or 2 days. So I want to go seconds to days. That's your 4th problem. And what I want you to do now is stop the video and do this problem. You could do it any way you'd like. Of course, I'm going to show you the best method, the factor label. So maybe you want to go to the factor label method. Okay? So please stop the video, go ahead and try to do this, and then I'm going to lay it out for you. So stop now. If you're still not listening, stop. And when you start this up again, I'll continue. So please pause. Okay, if you didn't pause, but you still want me to model the problem, I will. If you've got an answer, just watch me build it. I have no idea how I'm going to go with this. I'm just going to start with what's given to me. First thing given to me is a overly large size font here. Okay, so I'm going to go to blue, this. Let's go 800,000 seconds. That's what I'm given. Now I know I don't have a conversion from second to days in my head, so I know I got to get rid of seconds. And I'm going to go to, okay, minutes. And I know that for every 1 minute, there's 60 seconds. I didn't have to think about divide by or multiply. I let my units tell me. Okay, next step. I'm going to get rid of minutes. Eventually I'm going to get to days, but I have to go to hours next. In 1 hour, there's 60 minutes. Minutes go by the wayside, and this whole answer would be how many hours this represents, but I don't want hours, I want days. So last step, take out the hour. 1 hour is equal to, oops, bad Grotsky. And I could have caught that mistake. I probably should have let that go. But I have hours that I have to go by the wayside, and I want days. And I know that there are 24 hours in 1 day. Now, if I put 1 hour is 24 days, you can see that would be silly, but By knowing that this is a smaller unit of time compared to days, I should get the bigger number. And hey, we're human, but it's a nice way to check. Notice hours go by the wayside. And look at that. I'm left with days. There was no thinking. I'm not putting together. I'm not multiplying, dividing by 60, writing that number down, then taking that number divided by 60, then getting that number, writing it down, then dividing by 60, 24. I mean, how many times are you going to write the number down? How many times are you going to make a mistake? And did you have to think about dividing by 60? I mean, maybe you don't have to. Maybe you're bright. But in this example, it's still being easy compared to what we're going to be doing. This is a nice roadmap. Get rid of my seconds. Get rid of my minutes. Get rid of my hours. Okay, really the process is more important than the number, but let's get the numbers, see if we're on the same page. So 800,000. Okay, I'm dividing by 60. Okay, I'm dividing by 60 again. And then I'm dividing by, dividing by 24. And I get 9.26 days, and I just rounded. We're going to get into how we round in other lessons. Right now, just give me the raw answer. So 800,000 divided by 60. Take that answer, divide by 60. I'm not rewriting it. Then divide by 24, and we get 9.26 days. And it kind of makes sense, right? A big number with a what? Smaller unit becomes a what? A smaller number with a bigger unit. Okay? So that's what we're going after. Hopefully that helped. That's the point. So although these easier conversions you could do in your head, but even if you can, you're going to make mistakes moving that decimal place. If you have to move the decimal place, keep low to big, big to high in your head. But you need to understand that 3 and 4, as we get more complicated in our conversions, this is how we do business in real life. Hope that helped.